If you're waiting until you're ready to apply for a cybersecurity job, you're going to be waiting forever. I'm going to show you the exact steps that I took to break into cybersecurity with no tech degree and no coding, and how you can do the same starting today. I'm Nelia, a cybersecurity engineer. I came from a completely non technical background. I was a Marine security guard. And I figured out how to translate that experience into a six-figure cybersecurity career. So if I can do it, you can absolutely do it too. Here's the biggest lie that the internet tells you about getting into cybersecurity: that you need years of experience before anyone will hire you. That is not true. What you actually need is three things: a foundational certification, translated experience, and to apply for the right type of jobs. Most people get stuck because they're applying to the wrong roles, underselling themselves and what they already know, or waiting to feel qualified. Today, we're going to fix all those three things. Step one is getting a certification that signals to employers you're serious. There are two I recommend depending on where you are right now. If you're completely new and have zero IT background, start with Google's Cybersecurity Professional Certificate. It's on Coursera, so it's low cost. You can finish it in a few months, and it teaches you the fundamentals without drowning you in technical jargon. It also prepares you for Security Plus. If you already have IT or tech exposure, go straight for CompTIA Security Plus. This is the industry standard entry level certification. It's recognized by the Department of Defense, required for thousands of government and private sector jobs. And it tells every hiring manager you know your fundamentals. Get one of these on your resume before you apply anywhere. It's the difference between getting an interview and getting completely ignored. Step two is the one most people completely skip, and it's the reason their resume gets rejected. You are already doing cybersecurity work. You just don't know it yet. If you work in IT support, password resets are identity and access management. Virus removal is incident response. Setting up computers is endpoint hardening. These are all real cybersecurity terms that hiring managers and ATS systems are scanning for. If you come from a completely different background, like I did, military, healthcare, finance, retail, you still have transferable skills: risk assessment, following protocol, managing access, protecting sensitive information. All of those map directly to cybersecurity. Your job is to translate your resume into the language of cybersecurity. Use the CompTIA Security Plus exam objective as your translation dictionary. Every domain in that exam maps to a real job function. I have a resume template in the description below that shows you exactly how I did this. Now let's move on to step three. This is where most people make their biggest mistake. They apply to cybersecurity analyst or SOC analyst roles and wonder why they never hear back. Here's what actually gets you hired fastest at the entry level in 2026. GRC roles: governance, risk, and compliance; IT auditor, compliance analyst, third party risk manager. These roles are in every industry: healthcare, finance, government, tech. They pay very well at entry level. They rarely require coding, and they are significantly less competitive than SOC analyst positions. Search for those titles on LinkedIn and Indeed right now. Read the job description. You will most likely not see Python or Kali Linux. You will see things like policy review, risk assessment, vendor management, and compliant frameworks like NIST and ISO 27001. All these things you can learn. Start applying when you have your certification and you have translated your resume. Don't wait until you feel 100% qualified. If you meet 60 to 70% of the requirements, apply anyway. Cybersecurity has a massive talent shortage right now. Companies are desperate for people who show initiative and foundational knowledge. One more tip on applying: don't just spray and pray. Be strategic. Pick 10 to 15 companies you genuinely want to work for. Follow them on LinkedIn, engage with their content, connect with people who actually work there. When you apply, you're no longer a stranger. You're a familiar face. That makes a massive difference in whether your application gets seen. And don't overlook your current employer. If you're already working somewhere, healthcare, finance, government, school, retail, that company almost certainly has a cybersecurity team. Raise your hand internally and ask to shadow somebody. Volunteer for a project. Internal transfers are one of the fastest paths into cybersecurity because you already have the company's trust. Step 4 is what separates candidates who get callbacks from candidates who don't. A simple portfolio project. You don't need a whole GitHub full of code. For GRC and compliance roles specifically, here's what works. Pick one NIST 800 53 control. Family access control is a great starting point. Write a mock security policy for a fictional company based on that control. 1 to 2 pages, put it in a Google Doc. That's your portfolio piece. This shows employers three things: that you understand compliance frameworks, that you can write professionally, and that you take initiatives beyond just studying for a cert. Most of your competition won't have this, but you will. If you want to go deeper, do a mock risk assessment. Pick a small fictional business or real business, identify their top 5 security risks, and write up how you would mitigate each one. Again, one document, Google Docs, done. Link it in your resume and LinkedIn profile. Step 5 is LinkedIn, and most people are doing this completely wrong. First, your headline should not say aspiring cybersecurity professional. That signals junior and unconfident. Instead, say it professionally, transitioning to cybersecurity, security plus, GRC. That signals direction, credentials, and specificality. Second, post content. Once a week, share something you learned while studying, a concept from Security Plus, a cybersecurity news story, and your take on it. A resource you found helpful. You don't need to be an expert, you need to be visible. Recruiters search LinkedIn constantly, and active profiles get found. Third, connect with intention. Find cybersecurity professionals at companies you want to work for. Send a short message, not asking for a job, just asking for 10 to 15 minutes to learn more about their path. Most people will say yes. One conversation can change everything. Before I close, let me save you from the 3 mistakes I see people make constantly. Mistake number 1: Studying forever without applying. There is no perfect moment to start applying. Start when you have your cert and your translated resume. Rejection is data, not failure. Every interview teaches you something. Mistake two, only applying online. The majority of cybersecurity jobs are filled through referrals and connections. If you're only clicking and applying on job boards, you are playing the hardest version of this game. Get on LinkedIn, get in communities, get in rooms, virtuals or in person, where cybersecurity professionals are. Mistake three, imposter syndrome. A lot of us are guilty of that. Stopping before you even start. You don't need to know everything. Spoiler alert, nobody does. Cybersecurity is a field where you are always learning. What employers want at an entry level is curiosity, coachability, and foundational knowledge. You can demonstrate all three right now. So here is your action plan. Starting today, get the Google Cybersecurity Certification or Security Plus, pick one and start. Translate your current experience into cybersecurity language using the Security Plus exam objectives. Start applying to GRC, IT auditor, and compliance analyst roles. Build one simple portfolio document and get active on LinkedIn. You don't need a degree, you don't need to code. You need a plan and the willingness to execute it. I gave you the plan, the rest is on you. If this video helped you, drop a comment below and tell me where you're starting from. No experience, IT background, military, whatever it is. I read every single one. Subscribe because I cover exactly this: how to break into cybersecurity without a degree and without coding. I'll see you guys on the next one.